Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our weekly market update. This morning I've got Haylee and Kayla with me. How are you guys?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good, thank you. Just catching up on what's been happening over the last couple of weeks. We've had a little bit spasmodic with the public holiday and a few things here and there. So, give everyone an update on the market. So, what's been happening in the property management space over the last couple of weeks?
We've been
a bit of activity.
busy. Yes, we've been leasing a lot of properties, which is great. We're seeing a little bit of a shift in the market, not a huge one, but we are getting some really good applications. So we've been able to lease some properties that have sat for a while.
Yep.
So it's been good.
Yep.
But we've just popped more properties online. So
yep.
We're still busy.
Yes. It's probably safe to say that it's definitely a tenant's market,
absolutely.
Markets.
Yeah. They've got a range to choose from, price range and like the house range and location. So it's definitely good for tenants.
Yeah. And what about the sales market, Haylee? What's been happening over the last couple of weeks?
We're still quite busy.
Yeah.
We're doing lots of open homes. You probably saw us this weekend up the main street. Lots of open homes. Has cooled off a little bit, but I think that's just a change with winter, and we've had a lot going on down here. So
yeah. Couple of things generally in the market. There's probably the most controversial bit of legislation in front of Parliament right now in relation to real estate for a long time with the property management side of it. So for anybody that's not aware, there's a bill that's in front of Parliament to vote on over the next little while in relation to pets in rentals, which will give tenants the automatic ability to accept a pet into a property, and then an owner would have to dispute that rather than the current sort of way where a tenant would apply and an owner could reject or accept. So it sort of makes it an automatic right. There's a few other bits and pieces around that, but if you want to check that out, there's any of us can send you some information on that, or it's available online. There's been quite a bit of chat about it, so it's certainly quite a shift, and we'll probably have some major shifts in ownership of rental properties and the way properties are leased and things over the next few months ahead, depending on how that legislation looks by the time it comes out of Parliament. So I'd say it's got, in principle, seems like there's reasonable parliamentary support for it, but not sure if it'll be in its current form or if it'll be an amended form as to what sort of comes back out. So I expect some big changes in that space. We'll keep you all updated as we know more information. But certainly, that's a big thing that's happening in the real estate world at the moment. So and we'll have some impacts on other things in relation to zonings and body corporates and lots of cross reference things there as to how that'll all work. So I think just generally looking at the numbers, there seems to be a few less transactions over the last 5 or 6 weeks across the Huon Valley in general. So there's been still a strong amount of interest in some of the more attractively priced properties in the lower end, and there's definitely that affordability crisis there going on where houses under 600 and for sale and houses under 450 for rent are just going really, really well. There's a lot of activity in those spaces. But certainly anything that's up in price range a bit, it is a bit slower because there's just less people can afford it with the current interest rates. So that's sort of what's been the common theme in the market. So certainly,
don't think that's going to change anytime.
No. But and I mean that's probably similar if we look back a few years ago. It was probably houses under 300 would rent really quickly, and over 300 was slow, and houses under 400,000 would sell quickly, and things over that would be a bit slower. So just back into a normal sort of pattern there. So I think that's where things are going with affordability. Now everyone's not quite as buoyant as what they were a while ago.
That's right.
So anyway, I think that's about all for this week. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We will see you next week on the update.